do what I just. Nobody does what I just did, by the way.
Use the scissors.
Exactly.
Wait. Let me. Okay. You want to make this video? It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna screenshot a part where your face looks funny.
Okay.
Yeah. I can go slow-mo too. I'll just go right past it.
That's fine, Josh. It's not like you don't have any more embarrassing pictures of me.
Okay. Now, recorders. Listen, everybody today.
I don't care.
Hi, Victoria. How you doing?
That's so skinny. Oh, she's fat.
Sorry.
Okay, recorders. You are going to have to be very, very detailed over the next few days because the cat is going to change every day over the next few days. We're going to be taking some structures out that you're responsible for knowing. So recorders, if you're recording for the group, make sure you are making good sketches, make sure you are giving good descriptions, make sure you're taking good pictures, all of those things, because we're about to destroy some things that we're responsible for knowing. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to cut into the abdominal pelvic cavity today. Okay, now we are going to make a mid-sagittal cut here. Okay, now if you have a boy cat, there's two tubes that run right here and into the abdominal pelvic cavity from here. Okay, don't cut those tubes. All right, keep those tubes intact. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to cut along the mid-sagittal line. Now along the mid-sagittal line, it's right between the two rectus abdominis muscles. All right, the two rectus abdominis muscles are right here. There's a white line in between the two. You can't really see it on this cat very well because it's very pale and it's still got a lot of fat on it. Okay, but on most of your cats, you're going to see a thin white line right here, and it's called in Latin the words that mean white line, linea alba. Okay, that is on your list. It's going to be gone after today. Okay, so the way we're going to find where to cut is we're going to palpate, and that just means kind of touch with your fingers right here. We're going to palpate the ribs and find out where the ribs end. Now in this particular cat, the ribs end right here, and they end about the same place on all the cats. And we're going to follow the rib all the way to where it hits the midline. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Follow the rib, and again, you're just going to palpate. It's rib here, no rib here. Find the last rib and find out where it comes into the middle. And it comes in the middle in the same place. So there's going to be a little bit of a soft spot. Now, there's a little bone going in a caudal direction, okay, inferiorly, called the xiphoid process, and you're gonna feel that, but it's not a rib. It's part of it's an extension of the sternum. Okay, so make a little indentation with your finger. Okay, and then we're gonna use the straight end of our probe, and right here where the ribs come together, okay, you're gonna put a little hole. Okay, now you're not gonna come up and stab it. Okay, you're just gonna make a little hole right here. Okay, and you can't make it right in the middle because that's where the xiphoid process is. You kind of have to go to the side. Okay, now blunt scissors. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing like we did when we were skinning. We're gonna pull up and cut. Okay, pull up and cut right down the midline. Okay, pull up and cut. Okay, all the way down the midline.
Oh, it gets easier when you go down.
Now we're going to stop about a ½ an inch from where the abdominal pelvic cavity ends right here. Okay, now I want you to notice two things. Recorders, you're going to notice this too. Okay, there's a membrane right here. Can you guys see that membrane right there?
Yeah.
Okay, right at the top right here. That membrane, it's now gone. Okay. You need to make note of that membrane. I'll tell you what it is tomorrow. There's also a membrane right here. Okay? Gone.
What is that?
We'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay? So both of these membranes, one from the top and one from the bottom, are now gone. Now what we're going to do is we have our incision, our first incision. Now we're going to again palpate, find the rib, and now you can also stick your fingers in, feel where that last rib is, and you're going to cut just inferiorly to the rib. Don't cut way down here. Wasted opportunity. Cut way up here, but don't cut the rib itself. You're gonna have to. You're just gonna. Okay. No, I cut the xiphoid process is what I did. Yeah, you can cut right through bone with these scissors. Okay, so cut right along the rib, but don't cut the rib. If you cut the rib, you guys, you'll cut yourself every day.
Shut up, look at that.
Okay, so again, feel for the rib, and then cut right along that bottom rib. Don't cut the rib itself, but cut right along the rib.
Like he has a lot of strength, so it makes it look easy.
Okay.
Helps since it ain't so dull.
Now, listen. Now we're gonna cut. Laterally from here. Okay. And then we're gonna make this cut here. Okay. Listen. Now, what we've done in effect is we've made doors. Open, close, open, close. Okay, now, most of you have noticed there's a little bit of nastiness involved here. Okay, here's what I want you to do. All of this stuff that kind of looks like mud in here is from, what happens is when they drain. Robbie, can you check and see who that is, and then I'll call them back, please? You don't have to answer, just see who it is. What's that? Hickey. Okay. Okay, what it is, when they drain the blood out of the cats, they can't drain it completely. It's impossible to drain it completely, okay? So what happens is then when they drain most of it, and then they inject it with latex, and all the residual blood that's still left in the cat kind of blows out into the abdominal pelvic cavity. Okay, it's pretty normal. So what we're going to do is with paper towels and everything, we're going to get rid of all this. And you're going to, you're going to gently dab it until you get rid of all this mud. Okay, don't, aggressively scrub it, because then you'll destroy all of this stuff. Okay, just dab at it, wipe the surface down and everything else, and we'll talk about all these structures tomorrow. So today is cut it open and clean it up. Questions? Also, go around and look at the other cats. We're going to start noticing